Hello, good afternoon, and welcome from Warsaw. My name is Patryk Walaszczyk, and I'm a business solution architect at IBM. And today I would like to introduce you a concept idea of cooperation between Elachain and KIR National Blockchain Network, which Gosia mentioned a moment ago. So I'm going to expand this idea further. And if you will have any questions, please maybe write it down, and I will try to reply it after the presentation to not disturb, because we have only 15 minutes to go through that. So um, before moving into the details, I'd like to say a few words about our blockchain practice in Central Eastern Europe. As many of you may know, IBM delivered hundreds of blockchain projects worldwide, but we have not a one competence center, but we have a few of them all around the world, with one located in Warsaw, Poland, and we are actively supporting our customers and clients, as well as the partners like KIR, in delivering blockchain solutions based on Hyperledger Fabric for the enterprise customers. And our local team has a great experience, and we already delivered over a dozen of projects based on Hyperledger Fabric, and also other protocols for our customers from Central and Western Europe and US as well. And we have been working with various industries, from financial services to retail to automotive, and in the very beginning, from the very beginning, we are supporting the KIR activities around the blockchain technology in delivering the new solutions and services based on this. Okay, moving forward into a detailed overview of our idea. First of all, I would like to start with the overall concept of Web 3.0. This is a concept which most of you have probably already seen, and the different promises of Web 3.0 is to move beyond the ideas from Web 1 and 2, which were static or centralized and federated, respectively. And the idea of Web 3.0 is to bring the decentralization, provide a control over data to the actual owners, and enhance the user experience. The most important factors taken into account are decentralized exchanges of value, which basically means that peer-to-peer transfer of ownership for digital and real value assets. The new types of digital ownership, like NFT tokens or DIDs, or decentralized identifiers. The transparency in information sharing, which is an access to an open public registry of transactions for everyone. Entirely new digital services based on use cases like utilizing tokens and decentralized identities. And last but not least, those decentralized digital identities, which is a new way of recording the personal data information and sharing it with the third parties and business partners. However, the promise of Web 3.0, even though it is already a few years old, it's still far away from the ideal form. Over the years, we've been experiencing, and we have seen and identified several technical and business blockers which are keeping companies away from a blockchain technology. And let's discuss some of them. So first of all, the transaction fee in terms of public blockchains. As you know, any transaction which you would like to post is not free. We have to pay fee for miners, validators, or people who bring the stake. And this is not possible to overcome, because basically network cannot work for free. In terms of Web 2, we also pay for services in form of subscription. Alternatively, we are receiving some services for free, but we are providing our own data to the table. The other thing is the infrastructure. So another cost associated with a blockchain, both in public and permission networks, we need to have a costly infrastructure to keep the network running. Access services in terms of public networks. So, for example, if we don't want to run our own node, then we can use the service providers like, for example, Infura, which generally is a basic scenario probably for most of companies who are using blockchain. So we just pay a subscription, and they provide us an access through the API to a blockchain network. But still, on top of this service, we need to cover transaction costs, which makes the whole solution even more expensive. And probably the most important factor, the wallets, which are making the whole concept even more tricky. So while we are working, we are still thinking about creating a Web 3.0 more user-friendly, then wallets are probably the game changer there, because the registration to the services and storing the tokens or identities should be as simple as logging to the services like Instagram or paying with Apple Pay. And today, unfortunately, wallets are still pretty complex solution for the all the internet newbies or non-technical people. While we are on a good way to improve, and it's still under progress, there is still a lot to do in this matter, and we still need to improve the user experience who are just trying to join blockchain or use the services which are utilizing tokens, which requires using wallets. And the development, last but not least, it's to create any kind of a blockchain solution, we needed developers who specialize in this technology, and they are generally very expensive. And there is many of them in the market, which makes the whole solution development even more expensive. And now, while the idea of Elachain and KIR cooperation is going to solve many of the issues mentioned above, some of them are still more related to the application development. However, with this new network, which is going to be present in the market probably very soon, enterprises might focus on solving the business value issues and user experience alike, instead of thinking about the whole backend technical layer and taking people to develop the infrastructure. Rather than they can focus on development of a business solution like application and the smart contracts. And before moving into a concept deeply, I would like also to speak about some recent events which happened in the permission blockchain space and why those are happening. So this is really important to understand the value proposition of the new network. As you may know, the TradeLens and WeTrade solutions, which were probably the biggest networks based on permission blockchain in the world, both of them does not exist anymore today. And what was the reason? Well, we can list a few factors which are related to this situation. First of all, success often requires a critical mass of participants, which can be challenging to achieve in a closed system. So this is particularly important in terms of Maersk, for example, because Maersk had a platform which, due to the lack of the business model to convince other maritime shippers to join the platform, basically failed. The other thing is the multiple permission blockchains can lead to a silos where each system operates in isolation. And this is the case of interoperability of networks, which is one factor, but the other is the fact that the permissioned world is working in most cases on the same protocol, which is Hyperledger Fabric or maybe Corda. But we are trying to multiply the network all the time. So instead of making connections, we were trying to create multiple distributed small networks all around the world, which was just multiplying the costs. And establishing a new blockchain infrastructure requires significant investment. And linking it to the above, it means that instead of trying to create a one shared infrastructure to reduce the costs, we were trying to multiply this cost by creating the new small networks for each use case which was present in a space. And getting multiple entities like companies or banks to agree on the specific standards and practices, it means that this is a daunting task, which specifically in solution like a WeTrade, where we had several big banks who need to make a decision and the consortium model becomes overwhelming, we are facing the new angle of issues, which basically is no more technical, but rather the governance over the network. And even though the permission blockchain are designed to be trust enhancing, the centralized nature might make some stakeholders skeptical. This one, once again, is related to a small networks dedicated for specific use cases, where in fact one or maybe two organizations are taking the role of a decision makers. And ongoing costs can be high, especially when trying to maintain state-of-the-art security and functionality, which is once again related to trying to create the new isolated networks on our own. But now let's discuss the idea of Elachain and the KIR and how combination of both networks might bring benefits for everyone. So basically, the basic idea is to create an open network based on permission blockchain, which operates like the public protocols, for example, Ethereum or Bitcoin. But this network is in fact supported by real commercial companies which have a stable position and market presence. And by connecting both networks, we can lower the entry barrier for companies and enterprises who are trying to build the new solution based on the blockchain. First of all, lower cost to join the network. It's based on the fact that you don't need to set up your own infrastructure if you don't want to. Then it is possible to join the network as a service. So instead of building the infrastructure, you are just buying a service from a KIR or Elachain or other partners who are just creating a gateway to the network for you. So this is similar to the public solutions like Infura, but it's based on agreements, guarantees, security, and definitely lower cost compared to the public networks. There is no need for technical knowledge, while the whole technical backend layer is provided by specialized companies like KIR and Ela, and supported by their partners who are the network members as well. So basically, when the network is delivering you an access and you don't need to care about the blockchain itself, you don't need to take about the consensus mechanism, you don't need to take care about the setting the new node. You can focus on development of a smart contract and the business solution, so the application for the final users, and think about the business value and the profits instead of trying to manage the whole network concept and spending your investment into a technical guys who are just operating on the infrastructure level. The broader ecosystem of partners, a la public networks. So if you are going to join the network, automatically you have access to other companies who are using the same network already. It means you can easily connect with them to create a new service or exchange data in the network. And trustworthy business partners. So as already said, this network is operated by commercial companies, enterprises, and regulated bodies. So you have a guarantee that you are not going to join the network where all your data becomes public and everyone might have access to it. You receive a more control and the possibility to decide what goes public and what should stay private. So you have a full flexibility and control over data and information which you are sharing in this network. And last but not least, the commercial agreements to join the network. So you will have to reach the bodies who are going to provide you an agreement, ensuring the SLA on some level, and the other important guarantees which are specifically important from a business perspective. So basically, you are going to approach the Ela blockchain services or KIR or maybe other partners who are, as I said, creating you a gateway, and you are going to sign an agreement with them in order to have an access to the network. But how do we see the future vision of the network if this idea will find a broader audience? So first of all, blockchain network based on Hyperledger Fabric with Elachain and KIR is a significant initiative. So the main benefits which we identified are first of all, the building a robust blockchain network for Europe. So this might be a concept which is similar to EPSI, if you have heard about this network, but in our case, we already have plenty of working applications like a durable medium, notarius in Czech, tokenization engine, and other solutions which were already mentioned by Gosia in a previous presentation. So we have an advantage over the, for example, EPSI network. Leveraging the power and flexibility of Hyperledger Fabric. And so in our understanding, probably Hyperledger Fabric is the best protocol to run the permissioned blockchain, and it's already proven in various industries and solutions which are existing all over the world. Then combining the expertise of Elachain and KIR to drive blockchain adoption. So both companies have extensive experience in blockchain area. They are operating for a few years already, and this is a unique value for the new network participants. We enable companies to find and collaborate with new consortium partners effortlessly. So, as mentioned earlier, the bigger ecosystem, the faster and cheaper it is to develop the new services around. It also might provide a platform for innovation, piloting the new blockchain applications and scaling existing ones. So the platform, which is not only to test the solution, but first of all, it is to promote the solution into production and offer a new services directly to B2B or B2C market, which as low cost as possible with the existing decentralized blockchain network behind. So you are going to utilize the network which already is there, and it's operated by some enterprises and other trustworthy partners. And the standardized practices and promotion of blockchain practices. So the experience of founders and partners who are using the network already, it brings the value and standards which are shared to other interested parties. So instead of spending time and money on defining the standards and best practices, you can just utilize something what already exists and has been tested out by other more mature companies in the blockchain space. And also we can position ourselves as a leader in innovation and adoption of blockchain in Central Europe. So today we are in some privileged position already, but by building this new cross-country network in our region, we are promoting us even more. So it might be an important step in a new digital area where basically the Western Europe is no longer the leader. So we can just take the lead over it and promote our region as most innovative in a space of a blockchain. And yeah, basically, all in all, thank you for the attention, and I hope this concept will find a space to exist and establish the new market standard and position of our region. And as IBM, we are keen to support it. So by providing the technical knowledge and promoting the network concept around and among our clients, we are looking for a solution to lower the barrier to join the blockchain. So thank you once again. Have a great afternoon. And if you have any questions, then if I have a few minutes left, then I can try to answer it. Thank you very much.